Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video. I've tried to do this multiple times before, but let me tell you guys, life just didn't go that way. Like, first of all, the first video I recorded, I actually uploaded. It's not on this account because I actually made a whole new one because I didn't like the last video I made. Bad representation of me. I'm not going to tell you what video it is because I don't like the video. I did try to make another video on makeup, a makeup tutorial, because that's what I'm basically here for. That's the main reason I'm making my YouTube channel. That video didn't go as planned because I had copyrighted music in it, and when I uploaded it, you couldn't hear anything. Like, it muted the entire video, and I'm so sorry about this lighting right now. Like, y'all just wait till I get my ring light. I know I have stripes right now. So sorry. Basically, it muted my entire video. I couldn't use it anymore, so I had to make an entire new one because the entire music was just, I don't think I just felt like changing the music. I just deleted the video. So then I made another video about a week ago, 2 weeks ago almost. The video, I couldn't get it off my phone and onto my computer because my storage was full. You can imagine how angry I was when I deleted the video and thought it was backed up in my Google Docs, but it wasn't, or my Google Photos, whatever you want to call it, and it wasn't, and the entire video was deleted, edited it and everything, edited it and everything. So the video completely deleted and was gone, and I spent an entire day, my only off day from school and work, the only day I don't go to school or work, and the entire video deletes. You must imagine how upset I was. Yeah, let me just get right into the video because I know y'all are sick of me talking. Today's gonna be a get ready with me story time because I couldn't decide if I wanted to do a makeup tutorial or if I wanted to do a story time. Okay, so I decided that I was gonna do a get ready with me, story time. So today is gonna be about the time I got caught losing my virginity. This is gonna be a very long story, so bear with me. Let me tell y'all, so when I was younger, I had lots of issues. Not issues just mentally, but just emotionally. Like, I had lots of self-esteem issues and dad issues because my biological father was never really there for me. He never really was in my life, so I mean, he was, but at the same time he wasn't. Like, my dad lived in Ohio and he had a whole nother family. He had 3 sons and another wife, so he didn't really, I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that he had a new family or whatever, but he didn't really pay much mind to me. He didn't pay child support, he didn't do anything to help me, in a sense. A lot of black families know about this, and if you can relate, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, basically it was a deadbeat dad. So I had daddy issues. I had real problems with love. Like, real problems with being obsessed with being loved because I felt like I wasn't loved by my biological father. But yeah, I do have a stepdad. I've had, he's been my dad since I was like 4. So he's like a dad. So he's like my real dad to me. He's like basically my dad. That's what I consider him. So I never really felt, I always felt like, it's just kind of weird that this guy had me and he just doesn't care about me. It's just kind of weird. So basically that made me do a lot of weird things, mixed with the combination that I did go visit my dad and my real dad a lot, and he had he was very abusive. Like, he wasn't abusive, but it was different from when I was at my house. My parents didn't curse, they didn't drink, they didn't smoke, they didn't yell at each other, they didn't argue, they didn't curse at me, they didn't do any of that type of stuff, and all that stuff was going on over at my dad's house. So when I went to my dad's house, he would argue with my mom. He would kick her out of the car, make her walk. Well, my stepmom, He would, you know, I was pretty sure he was hitting her. Like, he would curse at us and like just stuff that just didn't feel like a loving environment. So that kind of affected me too. And then when I went home, my parents were very like, I'm the only, like, not the only child, but like I am the oldest child of two that live in the same house. I have an older brother, but he lived with his mom, so he wasn't really in her environment. And my mom, I was my mom's first child, so I guess she didn't really know how it went. She was kind of just filling it out. She was a great parent, don't get me wrong, but she was very strict. My parents were very strict. They did not know that if you're very strict and tight on a child when they're young, they will lash out sooner or later, and they will do whatever they want to do, period. I did that. I did exactly that. I lashed out and I became a problem child because, you know, of all these factors, all these things going on in life. I didn't get good grades. I was always outside playing. I was always getting in, well, when I was younger, I wasn't like that. Like when I was a kid, I started getting in trouble when I was like 12 or 13. I believe it's like 13. Like I started getting in trouble, a lot of trouble with boys. Like, first of all, here was the problem. I liked older boys. The boys that I liked to talk to were always like, I was like 13 or 14 or like 12, 13, 14, and I liked 15-year-olds. I liked 16-year-olds. I liked 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, and 19-year-olds. I always got in trouble for dating older guys because I don't know why, but for some reason, like all me and my friends were like so mature, and I wouldn't say mature, we were very naive and stupid at the same time, but we were like very ahead of our time, like, you know what I mean? We just had a lot of like experience for some reason. Like we knew a lot of stuff, and we learned a lot of stuff from people like older than us that we knew. And so we were very mature for our ages. So we acted like at least 3 years above what we really, how old we really were. So we knew a lot of things, and so people thought we were older all the time. And not to mention, I'm really tall. I'm like 5'7" now, but I've been like 5'7" since I was in middle school. So, or like 5'6", 5'7"-ish since I was in middle school. So basically, everyone always thought I was older. People think I'm older now. People think I'm in my like 20s, and I'm like 18. So basically, it was really hard. All the boys were always, older guys were always hitting on me because they thought I was older, and it was just kind of like, you know, hard to get away from at the same time. Sorry, I have this really nasty sore on my lip, by the way. It was a mosquito bite, and I kept scratching it, and now it's just a sore. But yeah, so basically, I like to, and I really was, I don't know why, but I was like really boy crazy when I was younger. Like, sorry if I'm looking over into the corner and I'm not looking at you guys. I have a mirror right here, and I'm trying to do my makeup, but I was really boy crazy, and I like to talk to boys like all the time. So I always had like a boyfriend or a crush or something like that, and I was always on those like virtual sites like IMVU and Me's. If you're like a 2000s kid, you know what I'm talking about. Like, these were the mess. Like, they were the shit. Like, excuse my language, but they were the shit back then. Like, everyone was on it. So yeah, I was on those, and a lot of older kids were on them. I've been on those apps since I was like 12, and then I liked dating apps for some reason because I liked talking to people. So I was always on the dating apps. I was always on like all that stuff. So, you know, on Me's and IMVU, I was very mischievous. Like, I was interested in being someone I wasn't. So I tell people I was like, you know how you like have a, like an alternate personality online? Like when you get online, you're like suddenly Tiffany, who's 23 and she has a mansion. I was kind of like one of those. Like, sometimes I would tell the truth, sometimes I wouldn't, but a lot of times I wouldn't. I would lie about my age and say I was like 18 when I was like 14. So yeah, I would do that. So one day I downloaded an app called Meet Me. I don't know what made me download this app. I think it was in my recommended, and I just kind of was like, should get this. Looks fun. I was like, this looks really fun, so I'm gonna get it. And so I downloaded it, and you guys, it was like a dating website for older people. Like, not older people, not like freaking eHarmony, like older people, like, but like, you know, like older teens, like older, like 20s, people that were like, you know, in their college days and stuff. So I decided to let my alter ego out and be someone else. And I didn't change my name. Sometimes I did that, but I didn't this time. I just put my regular name, and I just put all my regular information, except that I said that I was 18. Wrong, I know. Jailbait. Oh my god, yes. I was 14, you guys. I was 14, and should have been doing that. Guys, don't do this stuff. Like, disclaimer, like, this is just not, I'm not encouraging you guys to do stuff like this just because I'm telling the story. I just think it's a funny story, and I think it's something interesting in my life that's happened to me. Don't do this though. If you're like 13 or 14 watching this, like, please don't do this. Like, I know there's gonna be kids watching this, but yeah. On this app, I got a lot of attention because I obviously looked older. Like, I looked 18. I could pass for 18 if I really wanted to. But, you know, I don't wear much makeup back then, so, and y'all see, I do already look younger without makeup. But, yeah, so a lot of guys would message me on there, and I had, like, a lot of crushes, and, like, you know, I said I was obsessed with boys, so, like, I had a lot of people on there I was talking to. I was a little player. Like, none of them had my full attention. I was just, like, into everybody. So there was this guy on there, and we're gonna call him Tony. And Tony was like 18, like, and this is one of the younger people I was talking to, because the older people I was talking to were like 23. Like, my parents don't know this, and they're probably gonna kill me, but they were like 23. Like, they never came over though. Like, we never talked like in person. I just kind of like Tony was just really cool, and I talked to him a lot all the time, and we really just vibed. We never even talked on the phone. That's the weird, crazy part. Like, we never talked on the phone, but I claim to have loved him or whatever. We were telling each other we loved each other. He was like calling me sweetheart and being really nice to me. And as a guy, like as a girl who has daddy issues and has boy issues, that was enough for me. When a boy just told me they really liked me, or that I was pretty, or that like they love me, that was just enough for me. I was like head over heels after that. So I know it sounds really stupid. I was really naive, you guys. So yeah, I was really stupid. I knew all about sex when I was 14. I knew all about all that stuff. Oh my god. Okay, I knew all about all that stuff. I knew what it did. I knew how it worked. I knew how you were supposed to do it. First of all, from watching certain adult films, and also from just hearing about it in school, being a teenager, you know, like even when I wasn't a teenager, when I was a preteen, kids are nasty. They tell you things you don't want to hear. Like, honestly, I didn't want to hear all that stuff, but I just always was hearing about it, and so I knew about all that stuff. Why is this eyebrow so dark, you guys? Oh my god, whatever. I knew all that stuff. So I knew what boys wanted to do. I wasn't that stupid. I knew about what that stuff was. Oh my god, please do not go by example today with these eyebrows, you guys. I don't know what's going on. This one just, I don't know. So like, I almost said his real name. Tony was always hitting my line constantly. Tony was like Indian or something. Like, I was into like foreign guys for some reason. Like, I liked people who weren't my color. Anyway, yeah, Tony was always blowing up my line, hitting me up. So I'm thinking this dude really cares about me. Like, he's always telling me he loves me and he always doing this. I don't know, maybe he did. I don't know. Honestly, to this day, I don't know. We didn't talk for long. One night, Tony blows me up. He hits my line and he's like, I really want to come see you. Like, where do you live? And like, back then when I was younger, I was really weak-minded. I did not like to say no. I was a people pleaser and I still am. Like, pleasing people is something that I like to do. I don't like to make people upset. I don't like to make people angry. I don't like to tell people no if I don't have to tell them no. I'm different now, but back then I was definitely more of a people pleaser, more of a pushover. I would defend myself if anyone were to tell me were to try to bully me or something. But if you were nice to me, you were my good side, it was so hard for me to tell you no. So back then he was really begging me to come over and to see me. And mind you guys, I was 14 in middle school, in 8th grade, still going to school. So I had school the next morning and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. Not even, it was 12 at this time. It was 12 o'clock in the morning. So I was not supposed to be up even. I don't even know why I had my phone on me, because my parents used to take my phone. That's just how strict my parents were. They used to take my phone at nighttime, but that's only because I gave them problems with boys, so they just decided that it would be best to take my phone at night. Yeah, he was begging me to come over and see me, and he lived, if you know anywhere in Michigan, I lived in Michigan. I lived in a place on the outside of Detroit called Redford, and he lived in Dearborn Heights. Let me give y'all a visual of this. Dearborn Heights is an hour away almost. It's 45 minutes away. It's far. We don't ever go there because it's far. Farmington, Dearborn Heights, all the rich people places was far. We lived in the suburbs. So they lived far, far away. He lived far, far away. That's where he lived. And he wanted to come over and see me. So I was like, oh, that's really sweet. That he would drive all the way down here. He must really like me. So he comes over, he drives over, and he texts me, he's like, I'm here. And I had a window, I lived on the 2nd floor, so it was ground level. But you know how some houses the 2nd floor is a little bit above the ground. You can't, the windows, you can't just jump in and out of them. They're not that type of, they're too high for that. So I always would leave my key because I'm always so forgetful. My back window, we always trusted everyone in the neighborhood, so we didn't really care about security. We even would sit in the house with the door unlocked, but because we knew everyone in the neighborhood, it was so small. But my window was always unlocked, you guys. I had a ladder outside my window because it was so hard to get in my window, and I would basically break in my own house if I didn't have my key. I would just climb through the window. So the ladder was almost always out there. We never took it down. I don't know, I think I was just too lazy, or my mom told me to take it down and I just never did. Basically, I just used that method for him. It was winter time, it was freezing outside, guys. So he had on a big jacket and a hat and a scarf and gloves. So all that shit was noisy, and it was 12 o'clock at night, so everyone's upstairs in my house or sleep. I don't know which one they were. My mom was here, my dad wasn't, but my mom was upstairs and she was doing something. She was either asleep or she was just up on her phone or something, like she usually is. I had to help him through the window. It was so hard because once you get up to the window, you have to climb into the window, and that was noisy. And my bed was right in front of the window. My bed right now is right in front of the window. I'm not gonna show you, but it's right in front of the window. So if you come in, you're gonna hit my bed immediately. So he had to come in, and my bed was kind of creaky. I don't know why. Don't ask me. I think it wasn't even old. It was a new mattress. But yeah, it was creaky and it was noisy, so like it kind of gave me anxiety. Try to sneak him in. We had to put him in the window like really slowly, and he was like, it's freaking freezing out here, hurry up. Like I was like, okay Tony, like come in. So like he was coming inside and like he got all undressed. Like I turned on my lamp because my mom was upstairs. Like everyone was sleeping, my mom was upstairs, like quiet, everything was quiet. It was dark in the house, and so I was like, you know, like basically when I was downstairs I could just do anything. Like my parents wouldn't know it because they were all the way upstairs. So I turned on my light and he came in. Like he greeted me and like I'm like, hey boo, you know, like 'cause that's my boo and I really liked him, like I told you guys. But you know how like puppy love is or whatever. We've been filming for 20 minutes. I've only done my eyebrows. Oh my god. Anyway, you know, we started talking, you know, chilling. Like my room was so girly and like kiddish. I don't know how he didn't get child vibes from my room. Like it was pink. My walls were pink. I had a Hannah Montana mirror on my wall right by the window he climbs into. I had like stickers everywhere, and I had like a little TV and like a PlayStation 2. Everything was just really cute and pink and just girly. So I don't understand how he didn't get any kid vibes from me. I think I just told him like, excuse my room, I haven't updated it since I was a kid, blah blah blah, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we were talking, and like, you know how guys are, like they don't want to just sit there and talk. That's all I wanted to do. Like when he came over, that's all I'm thinking that's gonna happen, because I'm so stupid. Like in my head I'm thinking he's gonna come over, we're gonna just chill, we're gonna hang out, it's not gonna be anything crazy. He proceeds to try to kiss me, and me being the curious teenager I am, I did not stop him. I did not. So like we were kissing, you know, that's fine. I'm like chilling about that, like that's fine. But I was not planning on doing anything more than y'all. Like I was like not having that. So we were kissing, and I guess he decided that he was getting a little hot and bothered. So he was trying to take off my clothes. I said no. I was like, stop. I'm a virgin. He knew that. I told him that I was a virgin, obviously. So I was like, I've never done this before. I can't do this. This is really, really like, you know, like something I want to do on a special day, you know. I was just like, this is not what I want to do right now. This is not how I want to do it. So he was just like, okay. He was really nice about it. He just stopped. I was like, that's fine. And I was like, okay, cool. We could just, like, what do you want to do? And I think he tried that, like, right when he walked in, like, and, like, I was like, whoa, hold your horses. And so basically, like, we ran out of things to talk about. So we're just lying there. We're like, so I'm like, what do you want to talk about now? And he's like, I think we've done enough talking. He's like doing this really smooth thing that I guess he thought was really smooth, which I guess I thought was really smooth because it worked. And we start back kissing. And like this time, he made sure that I was feeling like, you know, a lot more comfortable this time. And he tried it again. And this time I did not stop him for some reason. In my head, I was just like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it right now. But a lot of times I just go with the flow. And like I told y'all, I'm not a very big no person. I actually didn't want him to come over. I was like, I don't know, this isn't cool. I'm not really like familiar with, like I never snuck anyone in before, so I was like, I don't really want to do this. Like it's not something I'm into, like, but you know, like I said, I'm a really big people pleaser, so like I don't like to tell people no. So after I tell you no and you pressure me a couple times, you're eventually gonna get what you want. Not now though, so don't try that. If you're a boy and you live in my neighborhood, or if you're trying to get at me, do not try that. It will not work anymore. It won't work. He started kissing on me and I was like, you know, whatever. What else? Like how bad can this really be? So like eventually he gets me undressed and, you know, he gets right to it. He's not very gentle either. He wasn't very gentle with it. Like he just dove right in there. Like, and then I was so stupid. I was so young. I didn't even use a condom. I didn't even ask him if he had a condom. I didn't even know. Like, my parents prepared me for this too. Like, they talked to me constantly about it. But when the moment came, like, I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, I didn't even want to do it, like, honestly. So I was just thinking about, like, being somewhere else, doing something else, not just, like, I was just thinking about how this is gonna work. Is this gonna hurt? Like, I was thinking about all these other things. I wasn't even thinking about protection. And, like, it's happening, and it is the most painful experience I've ever had in my entire life, you guys. I was in so much pain. You guys don't understand how much pain I was really in. I was so uncomfortable, but, you know, he wasn't very gentle, like I told you guys. Like, he was just kind of like, now that I think about it, he was really just like, you know, like, not considering how I was feeling about it, how I was feeling, or if I was uncomfortable. He didn't ask me if I was comfortable, if I was okay. He just kind of like was acting really lustful and hungry. And I don't know how I didn't notice. I noticed that when we were like, when it had already started happening, but before that I didn't notice anything like that. I was grabbing on stuff, like I was so out of control. Like, when I'm in pain, I'm very overdramatic. So like, I'm like grabbing sheets and stuff and like pushing him away from me. Like, not like pushing him away, like I wasn't like raped or anything. Like, I wasn't trying to get him off me. I was just kind of like, it was kind of a reflex. It was just like, oh my god, this hurts, like chill out a little. This isn't fun. Like, I'm like, this isn't fun. I'm thinking this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be the most romantic experience of my life when I think about this. And then I get to it and I'm just basically freaking in pain the whole time. So like, I was a cheerleader back then, you guys. So like, I was mad flexible. So like, it's like 2 minutes in, I guess. Like, it felt like forever, but it was like 2 minutes in. Because of course I'm in pain. I'm like, oh my god, can this just be over with? I'm like, oh my god, this is so painful. Like, this is just not even, it's uncomfortable. And then like, he starts lifting my legs up and I'm like, okay, this is new. I don't do this. I'm not familiar with this. You start making me like, you know, lifting up my legs and stuff. I'm just like, whatever. And like, I have my dresser, like, we were on my side of the bed, and my side of the bed is next to my little lamp post thing, or lamp dresser, like where I keep all my underwear and stuff in my drawers. Like, it was like on my underwear drawer, like my little nightstand. And then like, so my lamp was on that dresser. We had turned the lamp off by at this point, like, because, you know, who wants to do it in the freaking light? It's kind of weird. But yeah, we had the light off, and my foot goes all the way back when he puts it up, and it knocks my lamp over. It knocks my lamp all the way over, y'all. Like, it falls on the floor and it makes a giant noise. We stop for a second. Because we're like, okay, whatever. And then we just keep going. Like, it's not like, it wasn't that long actually. Like, I'm making it seem like this part is long, but it's not. Like, we really didn't do it that long. It was maybe like 5 minutes, 4 minutes even. But we're not the only ones that heard it, apparently. My mom calls my name, and I was like, oh shit, that's my mom. I just didn't say anything. I was just like telling him to hide, because like, obviously my mom is coming, and like, hide. And I put him under the covers. Like, I made him, the stupidest hiding place ever, I made him get under the covers. I don't know why I made him get under the covers. Like, my mom wasn't gonna see him anyway. My mom, she was just fumbling with I was so scared. Like, my heart was beating so fast. I was the most scared I've ever been in my life. Like, y'all don't understand. I didn't know how my parents would react to something like this, because this had never happened to me before. Like, I was never in a situation like this. So I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be caught. My life is gonna be over. She's going to kill me. I was just not excited. Like, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be caught. Like, there's no way she's not gonna see him, but maybe she doesn't see him if I make him get under the covers. So like, and she's like fumbling with the lamp, trying to get it on because it was off, and it fell on the floor. And she was obviously probably like, what the fuck are you still doing up? Because at this point it's like 2 in the morning. So mom turns on my lamp. you know, turns it on, sits it down, and she sees a big lump in my covers. I'm thinking she's just gonna mistake it for some clothes. But he wasn't a very good hider. He was moving all over the place. He was like, I don't know, like, he wasn't hiding like I was expecting him to. I was like, what the hell? Like, what kind of fucking, like, have you never played hide and seek, nigga? Like, what is wrong with you? And she looks at that pile over there, that pile under the sheets. She goes, dude, really? I can see you. So he comes from under there, and she looks at me and she looks at him. Like, obviously we got caught in the act. We're not, like, it's not like she just walked in on us just chilling. Like, she walked on us having sex. I don't know why I whispered that. Like, she walked in on us having sex, like actually having intercourse. Of course, she's like, you know, like, it's obvious, like, we don't have clothes on. We're just in the bed, like, covering up, trying for her not to see us. Like, we're just like, oh my god. Like, guys, this was the most embarrassing moment of my entire life. Like, I was just like, oh shit. Like, honestly, it was so crazy that it was almost funny. Like, I was almost laughing, right? Like, in my head, I don't know why, but I was just like I knew I was dead, so I was like kind of laughing. And then he gets up from under the covers, and guess what he says? Oh my god, I don't mean any disrespect, like, I'm in love with your daughter. I don't know, like, this is why I say to this day, I don't know if you really love me or not, because if you look my mom in the face after she just caught you having sex with her daughter, and you tell her, I'm in love with your daughter, you must be in love, because you're asking for a death sentence. He just looked my black mom in the face, my African American mom in the face, and he just told her that he was in love with me. And I was like, is that supposed to excuse the fact that you're like okay, we're just doing this in her house, first of all. Second of all, she walked in on it. Like, is that supposed to make things better? Like, I'm like kind of looking at him like, are you dumb? Like, are you good? So, like, she looks at him and she's like almost like disgusted. She goes like, you're in love with my daughter. You're in love with my daughter. She's like just repeating it in her head, like, I can't believe this dude just said that. Like, and she starts being like she's just speechless. Like, she's just standing there and she doesn't know what to say. She's like, what are you doing here? Like, what is going on? Like, obviously this room smells like sex, so obviously you guys have been doing something. Like, she's like really mad. Like, she's like, what the fuck were you thinking? Like, what the hell is going on in here? What were you thinking? What would possess you to bring this boy in here and start doing this? Like, are you kidding me? I didn't say a word. Like, she's like, get out of my house. She's like, just get out of my house. She's like, you're in love with my whatever. Just get out of my house. Like, I gotta get some information from you. Like, you have to leave. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, she starts getting so, obviously she was gonna be upset, so I'm like not tripping over it. She wasn't as mad as I thought she would have been. She just kind of like, she was speechless. Like, I don't know, she didn't know what to say, she didn't know what to do. And mind you guys, like, I was a minor, so obviously he wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to do any of that. Like, none of that was supposed to happen. Like, he, like, legally even, like, he wasn't even supposed to be there legally. Not just the fact that my parents wouldn't have allowed that, it's just that it's illegal to have sex with a 14-year-old. Looking back at it, I'm like, how could he have done that? Like, honestly, actually, he didn't know. So he didn't know, you guys. Like, he didn't know how old I was. He thought I was actually freaking 18 years old. So he had no idea how old I actually was. He still had no idea. I don't think my mom even mentioned it, and I didn't mention it for sure because I was embarrassed. I didn't want to be like, yeah, I lied to you. My mom was just like, I need to get your information. I need to, you know, get your license plate, get your ID number, get your freaking birth certificate. She's like so extra. So she was like, yeah, I need all of that information right now. So he proceeds to, like, he's like, well, you know, we're like naked in the bed, so he's like, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna leave the room for like 10 seconds and you're gonna get dressed. You have 10 seconds to get dressed. So he gets all his shit and he starts putting it on, and I look at him and I'm just like, yeah. So like I was like, yeah, this just happened. Like, I'm like, please don't hate me. I'm sorry that I put you through this. I'm like, that's what I'm just looking like, because I didn't say anything to him really. But yeah, so like he's putting on his clothes, and then my mom comes back in after he gets dressed, and she's like getting his fucking information. She gets all of his information. Like, she gets his I don't know what information she got, because I was too busy getting dressed myself. So I got dressed, I got decent, and my mom was so pissed, you guys. Like, you don't understand. I felt so humiliated, and I knew my life was gonna be over. This was like the worst thing I had ever done, and I knew I wasn't gonna be able to live this down. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be able to live through this. Like, everyone is going to hate me so much. My whole family's gonna be disappointed in me. I'm gonna be a disgrace. So I'm like, you know what? I got to go. I got to get up out of here. And like, I'm really like mad at myself. I'm like kicking myself in the head. Like, bitch, if only you had told him, like, don't lift my leg up. If only your lamp didn't fall on the floor. Like, you know how like you contemplate all the things that went wrong, and you're like, that could have not happened, and that could have not happened, and this could have not happened, and I could have been not in this situation right now if only I hadn't snuck him in the house. Like, you just think about all this shit after it happens. Like, you know what I mean? After the fact, you're just like really upset with yourself, and you're just like thinking consciously, like thinking smartishly now. So yeah, she comes back in the room after he leaves. We don't say goodbye to each other. We don't do none of that. Like, we don't even speak to each other. We don't even look at each other. Like, honestly, I thought he was so pissed at me because of the way he left. Like, he looked at me like, he didn't even look at me when he was getting dressed. He was just like, bro, what the fuck am I getting myself into? So like, I knew immediately that my mom was gonna take my phone. She was gonna take my entire everything. Keep in mind, you guys, this is a disclaimer. Do not come for me in my comments saying that I was a hoe and that, like, you know, this and that. Like, I understand what I did. Like, what I did was wrong. Like, I shouldn't have been, I shouldn't have snuck him in the first place. But realize I did not sneak him in intentions to have sex with him. Like, that's not what I had intentions for. I was a very kind-hearted, sweet girl. I thought that everything was just magical rainbows and unicorns, that everyone had the same intentions as me. I had the intentions on, like, if he came over, I was like, we can just sit here and talk and watch movies and cuddle and be cute. And, you know, really, he had something else in mind. I wasn't trying to be nasty. I wasn't trying to do none of that. I really just didn't. When in real actuality, he had something else planned. And I'm not a good person. Like, I was very weak back then. I didn't know how to say no. I didn't know how to handle myself in situations like that. I had never been in one. And my mom comes back in the room and she looks at me and she's like, did you even wear a condom? Like, she's like so pissed at me. She's like, what, did you even wear a fucking condom? Like, did you even think about what would have happened if you would have gotten pregnant and blah blah blah? And all this point is, at this point, all I can think is, oh my god, I'm in so much fucking trouble. Luckily, my dad wasn't there, or he would have wrung his fucking neck out. Like, he would have beat the shit out of him. I already know it. My dad told me, like, when he got home, that he would have beat the fuck out of this guy. So, like, you know, the next day, I actually, like, didn't go to sleep that night. My mom just made me start cleaning shit. She made me start cleaning stuff until I had to go to school the next morning. Like, it was like 4 in the morning by the time all this stuff had finished happening. And, like, so she made me take a pregnancy test. She made me take a pregnancy test. I was not pregnant, of course. He did not do anything inside of me or anything like that. Like, that sounds so disgusting, but, like, he didn't do anything. Like, we were doing it for, like, 4 minutes tops. So, like, get out my video.
I wasn't trying to.
Obviously, that wasn't enough time. I mean, for some people, that's enough time, if you know what I mean. But that was enough time for him to actually have done something. Basically, the next day, I tried to run away. I packed my bags. I packed a bunch of shit in my bags. And I was gonna run away. Like, I was legit about to just leave. And just become like a homeless person or something. I literally was like, no, I'm out. Like, I'm out. Like, I can't deal with this. Because I knew my life was going to be over. I knew I wasn't going to be able to do anything. So, and it was cold outside, so I'm like packing a freaking blanket, and I packed an entire suitcase, and I wrote an entire note, and I was like, Mom, I'm going to run away. Like, I was like, basically, like, I love you guys, and I'm sorry I did this to you. And so, like, I go to school and I'm telling all my friends about it, all my close friends anyway. I didn't want everyone knowing about it, but I'm telling everyone the story. And like, I get a call from the office because my mom obviously took my phone. I get a call from the office and they're like, Sean, please come down to the office. And I'm like, for what? I didn't do anything. So they're like, your mom called and she's picking you up from school today, and like, you're not to leave class before the bell rings. You're to go straight to the she wants you to go straight to the car rider section. You're not to hang out, none of that. I was like, dang it, I can't even run away. Like, and what I was gonna do was I was gonna actually, like, because I'm planning on running away before I went to school that morning, but it didn't work out that way for some reason. And I was gonna come home as soon as I got home and freaking take my shit and bolt out the window. I was gonna be gone, y'all. And so that didn't work out either. My mom had a close eye on me. My mom was like, you're not gonna run away. You're not doing none of that stuff. Because I guess she found my note. And then when my dad got home, he was so completely pissed at me, guys. Like, I don't even know what, like, you know what I mean? Like, my dad was so mad at me. He was so disappointed in me because, you know, like, obviously he had high hopes for me. Yeah, so that's basically what happened. My dad was like, we had like a whole heart-to-heart, and we started like crying and stuff. We had to talk, and you know, eventually they got over it. If you guys have experienced anything like this, let me know, you know, tell me your stories. I really like to hear stuff like this. I watch other people's story times all the time, so if you have an experience close to mine or something like that, DM me on Instagram or something and tell me your story. I don't know, it's really fun and interesting to just relate and, you know, conversate with you guys. Like, just, you know, make sure you guys comment and subscribe. And, you know, if you guys get too crazy in it, like, I just know, like, this story is going to be a really controversial thing because obviously I'm losing my virginity at such a young age. I just want to let you guys know I don't condone this. I think everyone should wait. I think everyone should save that for someone that they really, really care about and love, and they shouldn't do it until they feel like they're ready. It shouldn't be at a young age like that. You should want to wait for a long time. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, we'll wait till marriage, like, because obviously it's 2017. Nobody does that anymore. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Celibacy, some people do that, you know, that's fine, but in modern day society you just don't find that a lot. So I'm not, you know, like, I'm not gonna tell you guys to do that. Like, it's just modern day society, you guys. It just desensitizes us to these things. And then, like, kids these days are so much faster than like the kids back in the day. Chill out a second. You're not like you have all the time in the world. Stop rushing your little life. I feel like none of that would have happened to me. Like, I feel like I should have been stronger. I should have said no. I shouldn't have let it happen when I didn't really want it to happen. You know, like, if you don't want something to happen, you shouldn't let it happen. But at the same time, like, I didn't know what to do, you know, like, I didn't really want it to know what to do. Like, he was being real pushy about it, so I was just like, whatever. And hopefully you guys are smarter than I was. You know, like, I have a sister, I have 2 younger sisters that are like really young, and I hope that they can learn from my mistakes and not do what I did. Thank you so much for watching my video. I'm so sorry this went a little over time than I thought it was gonna go. I thought it was just gonna be a short, quick little video. It was gonna be fun, but it didn't turn out to be that way. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys come back, subscribe, comment, like, do whatever you want to do. You know, I have a lot of editing to do, so I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm losing daylight to let me know what you guys think of my story and what you think of the situation. What would you have done? Like, let me know. Just like, I'll leave my Instagram and all that down below. You can DM me, do whatever you want to do. Cool. And I'll see you guys later. Oh my god, please come back. This was so fun. I'm gonna do this again, and I'm gonna be putting up videos every Wednesday because it's my off day, or Friday, depending on when I have my off day. But be looking out for that, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.